Iran war live. Yo, Mahmoud, how's it going, bro? What's up, dude? Yeah, did you see the news about Donald Trump blocking the Strait of Hormuz? Dude, I'm gonna hit the gym by the way in a bit. So I'm not gonna be doing a live stream right now. I'm probably just gonna hit it for like 40 to 45 minutes, maybe even less than that. And then I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna have like a quick session. I want to do shoulders. I'm gonna be recording some stuff as well. I'm gonna do shoulders and I'm gonna do bicep and tricep maybe. So shoulders, bicep, tricep. What else would I do? I wanted to do legs, but Fike is not with me, so I don't wanna. I like to go heavy when somebody is with me, because then they can spot you as well. Like if you're doing squats or like the deadlifts, it's just a bit helpful to have somebody around you. So the next time when Fike actually comes, then I'm gonna start doing legs as well. You know what? I'm actually gonna take the belt because I might not do the legs, but I might just do the deadlifts. That'll be fun. Okay, so let's talk about Donald Trump. Trump warns Iranian ships challenging Hormuz ports blockade will be eliminated. US blockade of Iranian ports has begun. They're already doing it. They've already started blocking the ships. This is kind of crazy, dude. Trump is taking a stance. He's like, I'm going to play the same game that you were actually playing with me. Like, you're trying to block American stuff. I am going to block your stuff. Tehran has threatened to retaliate against the ports of its Gulf neighbors. Trump warns oil and gasoline prices may stay high. US Iran talks over the weekend failed to reach a deal to end the war. Um, did you, Mahmoud? Did you watch the? Are you still following WWE? Are you going to be watching WrestleMania? Trump said that the US military began a blockade of ships leaving Iran's ports on Monday. He said that Iran has been in touch on Monday. They wanted to make a deal. I don't know how much I trust Donald Trump, to be honest. He's saying that Iran actually reached to him and actually wanted to make a deal, but he will not sanction any agreement that allows Iran to have a nuclear weapon. So basically, what Donald Trump is saying that we are there because we don't want Iran to actually build a nuclear weapon. That's the biggest thing. The U.S. president said that earlier that Washington would block Iranian vessels and any ships that paid tolls to Iran, and that any Iranian fast-track ships that went near the blockade would be eliminated. That's what he's saying. Damn, so they're actually gonna attack the Iranian ships, man. They're picking up an even bigger fight, to be honest now. Like, I wonder if they do that, if they start doing that with some of the other countries, like some of the other ships as well. Tehran threatened to retaliate against ports of its Gulf neighbors. NATO allies, including Britain and France, said that they would not be drawn into the conflict by taking part in the blockade. Continue to stay with us as we bring you the latest. So that is kind of crazy. So they're going to be blocking all the Iranian ships now, all the Iranian vessels, and it might actually go to a point where they're blocking some of the ships from other countries as well. Depends upon, like, if Russia is providing that intelligence, then what if USA starts attacking Russian ships? Then it turns into a world war. And somebody was telling me today, actually, one of my colleagues, that Turkey is actually going to be part of the war as well. Turkey's already given notice to Israel. If they keep on doing the suspicious activities that they've been doing, Turkey would actually also attack them, which is kind of crazy. But it's also like a retaliatory answer because Israel was the first one to actually pick on them. One of their ambassadors actually said that Turkey would be the next target after Iran. Protests have swept the globe since the start of the war, with hundreds of protests both in favor of and against the conflict. Okay, so there's a lot going on in New York City as well. New York City has been a head hotspot for demonstrations, with some gathering on Sunday in support of Trump's handling of Iran and other protesting against the war. On Monday, here are some photos from Monday's protest in New York. Uh, no to bombing people. Demonstrators during anti-war protest in NYC, April 13. No ice, no war, no ice. Blocking Iranian shipments would disconnect a significant source of oil from the world's market. Iran exported 1.84 million barrels per day of crude in March and has shipped 1.71 million barrels per day thus far in April, compared with the full year average of 1.68 million barrels per day in 2025. Um, that's a lot of oil that they are actually exporting, and has shipped 1.75 million. So they're actually, I don't even understand it. So it means Iran is actually selling more oil than they were doing before, even though the Strait of Hormuz is actually closed. Um, However, a surge in Iranian output before the war started on February 28 has led to near record levels of Iranian oil loaded on ships, with more than 180 million barrels floating as of earlier this month, according to Kepler data. Data from shipping tracker marine traffic shows the latest vessel traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. Red symbols indicates that oil and gas tankers. Green shows dry bulk carriers, while typically carrier commodities such as grains and iron. Oh. Mm, man, they're still attacking people in Lebanon. Like, what is happening? I think they did not even reach a ceasefire agreement because the negotiations that Iran was trying to do, the points that they were making, USA couldn't agree to any of them, and Donald Trump wanted the control of Strait of Hormuz. That didn't actually go well. Red Cross Center Monday and the death of a volunteer a day earlier. Lebanon State News Agency reported that Monday's strike, which it said was carried out by Israel, killed one person, damaged Lebanese Red Cross vehicles. The loss of those who dedicate their lives to saving others is gravely concerning given the impact of the civilians who depend on their help. Agnes Tur, head of the ICRC delegation in Lebanon, said in a statement, man, what is going on right now? Hezbollah chief urges Lebanon to cancel talks with Israel. Hezbollah chief named Qasem. Yo, how's it going on? How's it going? Yeah, I do remember you. How's it going? What are you doing today? The armed group will continue to confront Israeli attacks on Lebanon. Lebanon's foreign minister said Beirut would use Tuesday's face-to-face negotiations to press for a ceasefire in the war. Okay, Lebanon also wants the negotiations. They want a ceasefire. US officials say that engagement with Iran actually continues. I don't even know if I can trust US, to be honest, because there's a lot of stuff that they say, but it doesn't turn out to be true. Did anyone watch the UFC card, by the way? Did anyone watch the UFC 327 card? Surprisingly, the numbers have been low on the card. I don't know. I don't know if it's a Paramount deal, like what's happening. People were saying that the stadium was kind of empty as well during the card, which is kind of crazy. I think I've streamed at a wrong time probably. I think more people actually join around like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock later on. Or if you're doing like an earlier stream, maybe like 5 o'clock or like 4 o'clock, that's when most of the people actually join. But this is probably like one of the worst times. The Secretary General position has been consistent. No one should do anything that harms the freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. That freedom of navigation is based on international law and years of custom, Dujarric said, referring to the UN chief Antonio Guterres. We need the freedom of navigation to be restored fully by everyone. Man, 20% of the oil is actually passing by the Strait, right? Fifth of the world's total oil consumption passes through the Strait. It links the Gulf north of it with the Gulf of the Oman to the south and the Arabian Sea beyond. It is 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. So it's actually not that small. It's not even that small. It's 21 miles wide. How are they blocking it? That doesn't make any sense to me. With the shipping lane, just 2 miles. So shipping lane is like 2 miles, but even that's massive. Wide in either direction. More than 20 million barrels of crude, condensate, and fuels passed through the Strait daily last year on average. Data from analytics More than 20 million barrels of crude condensate fuels passed through the Strait daily last year on average. Data from the analytics firm Vortexa showed OPEC members Saudi Arabia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Iraq export most of their crude via the Strait, mainly to Asia. So OPEC members Saudi Arabia, Iran, and they export most of their crude via the Strait. Qatar, among the world's most biggest liquefied natural gas exporters, normally sends almost all of its LNG through the Strait. I mean, Qatar is actually getting the worst of it, to be honest. A prolonged crisis in the Strait of Hormuz could trigger a global agri-food catastrophe by disrupting fertilizers and energy exports, driving up food price. Who was telling me that there will be actually surge of the energy, not the energy prices, but the energy itself? I don't know. They were saying the energy demand would actually be more, and then more people would actually be there will be more production of energy. Uh, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization said. Mm. So oil prices are jumping by 5%, more than 100 a barrel on Monday. This is Donald Trump. Trump says that the blockade has actually started. Brent futures were up to $5.76. US West Texas Intermediate WTI crude rose 5.69 or 5.9 to 102.26. Um, Prices for physical crude barrels for immediate delivery to Europe were trading even higher with some grades. Not to Europe, man. That would be really bad for us. At records high of about 150 a barrel, and we're talking dollars here. That's more expensive than US actually. US is like 1 or 2.26 per barrel. Europe is like 150 a barrel. That is quite expensive. But because US is also doing the production, so I understand that. If Trump does indeed back his blockade threat with actual votes, a convergence between the paper and the physical markets may soon come. Uh, okay, Trump says that the blockade has already started. We have more from the U.S. president who is speaking to reporters at the White House. Right now, there's no fighting. Right now, he's saying Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily. So he's challenging Iran now. Like Iran was fighting the war of attrition. US was fighting like a military weapon war. They were trying to destroy as many military bases as possible, like the Navy and the Air Force. But now USA is playing smart as well. Now they're trying to do the blockade, which is actually a good strategy in the war. They'll be playing on the economy of Iran too. Speaking at the White House, Trump said that Iran wants to make a deal and that he will not come to any agreements that allows Tehran to have a nuclear weapon. Talks had hit a roadblock related to nuclear issues. He said that Iran had called this morning and said that they would like to work a deal. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, Trump told reporters. We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world. Trump says 34 ships passed through the Strait of Sunday. On Sunday, 34 ships went through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, which is by far the highest number since the foolish closure began by President Donald Trump. So these must have to be the ships from like European countries or like the Middle Eastern countries. They cannot be from Iran. Might have to come.